Hey guys, so I have an app that I've created using Python and Kivy. Yeah, Kivy is a GUI framework for Python. Like when you want to create a user interface for your Python app, you can use Kivy framework. So I've imported several modules from Kivy. These are the modules you use when you want to create a Kivy app. I've also imported os.path and pickle. So os.path is a module that we use if you want to check if a certain file exists in a given path, or maybe if you want to perform an operation on a given path or on a file existing in a given path, like saving, deleting, appending, we use os.path module. Pickle is a module that uses Notepad as a database. So if you want to save the contents of your app, maybe your app takes user input and you want to save the input on that app so that when you open that app, the input is displayed. You can use Pickle. You can also use SQLite and SQL. You can use SQLite for light apps, or we can use SQL for very, very big apps or websites. Very big apps or websites, you can use SQLite, SQL. So we have a class here, my grid, and here this we have a function. We have a code if os.path is file load. So what happens here is that os.path module checks if this notepad file exists. If it does exist, it loads it to the screen. If it doesn't exist, we create the file notepad. Also, I have here a class. I've named my class U. This class is my app. So on start, I've created a function called on start. On start is like when you open the app, it checks if the file exists, it loads it. I've also created a function called build that returns my grid, and also created another function called save. Save function will make sure the contents that you input in your app are saved. I'll show you how it functions. So onto the kivy file. Kivy file we have here my grid orientation vertical scroll view such that your app can be scrollable. Maybe your app has several pages, you can scroll it, make it scrollable. This is a grid layout, 2 columns, default height, yeah, okay. Then we have the label, name, text input. I'll basically run this app and you can see how it functions. Let me run it for you. So we have this app, it asks for name, age, and submit. You can type here anything. User input. When you press submit, it does nothing. So yeah, that's it. So what I want to do, two things that I want to do. I want when you press submit, it gives out user input. Like, hi Kevin, your details have been submitted. And I also want it to save progress using Pickle. Right now, this app can't save progress. See, when I close it and run it again, it doesn't load anything because it didn't save anything. So let's start on getting this app to save our progress. What we'll do, we'll come here and get the IDs of the text input that you want to save. So, and we'll write this code. So name and age are our user IDs. You can see we have here a label called age, and our text input, its ID is called age. So when I write self.root.id.name, the text is equals to 0. So it will load the name as the first character, and it will also load name as the first data, and here we have age text input, and its ID is age. It will load age as the second character. So we have also to save this name and age in our variable called rectangle here. You can name your variable anything, but I've decided to name my variable rectangle. Just copy and paste. Okay, so this function saves this name and this age into this variable called rectangle. So pickle.dump rectangle, it opens file name notepad as write binary, and it dumps these details so that the details can be saved. After doing that, you have to come to the button, so that when you press a button, it saves. So this is what I've done. On release, u.save. U is the name of my app. Save is the function. It calls this function here, save. Let's run our app and see. I input Kevin. I input get. Press submit. There is an error somewhere. There was a minor error there. I had tried here app to save. It was supposed to be I had initially it was you to save. So right now I can change it to app to save. Let's run our app and see. Input the name Kevin. Let's put the age as 2545. Submit. Close our app. Run again. We can see our details have been saved. Yeah, so that's how you use people to save application state. The second thing that I want when I release the submit button here, it outputs here something like, hey Kevin, your details have been saved. So let's get to that. We'll create a function. we get a function called output, and we have a label here. We have a label here on our kv app, and its id its output. So you want when you release the button submit, we change the text of this label to hey Kevin, your details have been submitted. So we type self dot root dot ids dot output. Outputs the id of this label. Outputs the id of this label. Outputs the id of this label. Self dot root dot ids dot output dot text. Hey, so you want to write hey user input name. Your details have been saved. So we write hey, and we are adding two strings, and the string that we are hiding we are adding is this name, and we add another string, hey certain user, the details have been saved. Once we write this function, we should also remember that you cannot it will not do nothing. You have to call this function after on the button. So you come here on your button, and you also add the output function. On release, it should say the name of your function, which is output. App.output. Okay, let's run our app and see. So our details there, Kevin, pages 45. Hey Kevin, your details have been saved. Yeah. So when you press submit, hey Kevin, your details have been saved. When we change this to maybe Brian, hey Brian, your details have been saved. So our app works just fine. We need to add some spacing between hey and Brian. So we put empty strings. Before and after. And deal with spacing, we can reduce our font size to maybe let's do 14. Brian, hey Brian, details have been saved. So our apps works just fine. It says user input, it outputs properly. Let's yeah, it works fine. So our next step is to convert this app into an Android application, and we will run it on mobile to see how our app works. on mobile. So first thing that we do, we need to open our browser. I will use Google Collab. Google Collab is like a compiler that will compile your code into an Android application. I will guide you through the steps. Just follow my steps. If you're new to Google Collab, you should press here connecting or connect. It will show you connect, then you tap here and will connect. It connects to your Google Drive. So you are waiting for it to connect. While it's connecting, there's some functions that we need to run on Google Colab, and to just type 3 ways to convert Python application to APK. We switch back to our Google Colab tab. You see it has connected. So we have to upload our Python file and kv file. So you just tap here. This is my Python app, and its kv file. Once you upload, the first thing that you need to do, you need to rename your Python file into main.py. Then the second thing that you need to do is you need to upload your app icon. So to upload your app icon, you have to tap here on this content folder, open it, right click it, and create a new folder and name it data. So you have to upload your app icon and your pre-splash app here, your pre-splash image. So I click on the app and then I press upload. Go to the location where you have saved your app icon. I've downloaded my app icon from online, so you can just look for any icon or image and download it. So I've saved mine in my desktop. And here's my icon. We check here if it's uploading. Once it's done, so we'll start compiling using Google Colab. There's a little problem in renaming, so I'll rename it. You can see here it's saying new icon.png.png. So I'll just rename it once it finishes uploading. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to run functions from here. We will copy these functions and run it in our Google Colab. These commands. Once it finishes, it will bring a green check mark here, and we will run our next command. Just follow my steps. This command will initialize bulldozer, which is a file which will save and edit our app icon name and our app icon image. Just press it. Just input Y and press enter. So it says file bulldozer.spec ready to customize. Your bulldozer file should appear here. If it doesn't appear, you can refresh here. Here is our bulldozer spec file. So here we have title of my application. Let me name my application YouTube. Let me name it YouTube. Package name. Let me name it anything I want. Let me name it next thing, there are something called requirements. I will leave the requirements in the description here, number 40. If you don't get your requirements right, when you open your Kivy application on mobile, it will crash on startup. So we have to get our requirements right. I will leave the requirements in the description. Just paste the requirements. And then the next thing you need to do is edit the press splash and your icon. So here we have icon file name. You need to uncomment this and input here your icon file name. So you can see my icon file name is I uploaded it here on this data folder, and it's called uicon.png. So I will type it here. I will also paste it here. Okay, let me explain this. I also need to uncomment here. This pass file name and icon file name number 47 and 50 need to uncomment it. Yeah, so that's it. The next thing we need to do, we will close this bulldozer spec file and we'll run our debug command. This is like the last command. It will take like around 40 minutes to complete. So I will pause the video and resume when compilation has completed. Press yes. It will take about 40 minutes. I'll pause the video and resume later. Hey guys, so my compilation has completed. You can see here that it's telling me that my APK is available in the bin directory. So what I need to do is I need to download my APK here in the bin directory. Then I will move it to my phone and install it. It's currently downloading.